You've just entered the No Delusion Zone. I'm David Debato. Today's podcast, or the topic for today's podcast, is the utter capitulation, the rolling over, the surrender of the Democrats, of the liberals, of the so-called progressives, to the Trump administration, to MAGA. It's disgusting. With all of the unbelievably illegal, unconstitutional, and catastrophic danger that this nation is in right now, the so-called opposition party, the Democrats, are essentially doing absolutely nothing. And it starts from the top, not just elected officials, but primarily, and what I'm going to be speaking about in this short podcast, are the media companies, law firms, and corporations, the so-called democratic power within this country. They have just rolled over, capitulated, and given in to authoritarianism, to this dictatorship, to the Nazis, to the oligarchs, which are now running the oligarchy of America. And yes, I'm talking about Trump and Musk. Let me start with some new reporting from the New York Times. I'm not going to read all of it, but just some summaries to I'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about. President Trump and the head of the law firm Paul, Weiss, Rifkind, Wharton, and Garrison have reached a deal, which Mr. Trump will drop the executive order he leveled against the firm, Mr. Trump said on Thursday. In the deal, Mr. Trump said, the firm agreed to a series of commitments, including to represent clients no matter their political affiliation and contribute $40 million in legal services to causes Mr. Trump has championed, including the president's task force to combat anti-Semitism and other mutually agreed projects. It's unclear how the money will be used to help the task force. The firm, Mr. Trump said, also agreed to conduct an audit to ensure its hiring practices are merit-based and will not adopt, use, or pursue any DEI policies. To continue on this reporting from the New York Times, that deal on Thursday follows a series of moves by companies that found themselves at odds with Mr. Trump. This year, Meta, the parent company of Facebook, agreed to pay $25 million to settle a lawsuit Mr. Trump filed in 2021 over the suspension of his Facebook and Instagram accounts after the January 6th riot at the Capitol. In that case, most of the money went to Mr. Trump's future presidential library. Isn't that special? Mr. Trump's executive orders targeted top law firms, introduced a new element to his retribution campaign. They have raised deep concerns among legal experts and threatened to pose serious financial problems for the firms, creating a chilling effect that has deterred them from taking on clients at odds with the Trump administration. The first order targeted Covington and Burling, a large firm that had done legal work for Jack Smith, who, as special counsel during the Biden administration, had brought 2 federal indictments against Mr. Trump. And finally, for today, the reporting that I'm going to be reading, this one is from Vanity Fair. This was, I believe, back in December. And it goes as follows, quote, President Donald Trump appears on the verge of hitting a legal trifecta. In December, Disney paid $15 million towards a future presidential library to settle a lawsuit filed against its subsidiary ABC News. In late January, Facebook parent Meta settled the president's claim with a $22 million check for the library, plus another $3 million in legal fees. Next up, Paramount Global, owner of CBS News, which is currently negotiating the potential price of its surrender with Trump's lawyers. The 3 cases have appalled legal scholars, journalists, and First Amendment advocates because The settlements appear to be motivated less by the strength of Trump's arguments than by the fear of much worse to come. The concern is that Trump is using the power of the presidency and the threat of extracting even greater pain to strong-arm his targets. In quotes, no president had ever been as overt about his goal of using as many levers of punishment as possible to intimidate news organizations and their parent companies, said Ron Neil Anderson Jones, a University of Utah law professor. The corporate capitulations, she told me, is short-sighted and dangerous. Short-sighted, yes. Dangerous, undeniably. Folks, what we're seeing here is a tactic straight out of Mafia 101, also Dictators 101. After you have decapitated the governmental institutions that could possibly do you any harm, such as the judiciary, meaning the courts, the Congress. You go after then the media, and finally the law firms who may sue you or try to hold you accountable both civilly and criminally. Well, he's done all the above, so now he's going after the law firms that represented almost exclusively Democrats, those loathsome Marxist, socialist pedophiles that made Donald Trump's life so miserable over the last several years, just wouldn't leave him alone. Well, now that he's in power again, he's going after those law firms to make sure that even the last vestiges of an institution that could try to hold him accountable for his innumerable serious crimes against the United States of America will go quietly, meekly into the night. This is a coup, folks. This is a mafia takeover. This is organized crime. This is a mob boss sitting in the Oval Office, running our country into the ground, into a dictatorship. And for the most part, the Democrats are doing absolutely nothing. And as you've heard, the last vestiges of the once powerful Democrat institutions, like the law firms that used to represent them, are themselves turning over, waiting to get their bellies scratched, and just forking over tens of millions of dollars to King Donald I. It's a disgrace. It's disgusting. And it does not bode well for the future of this nation. I've said it before. I'll say it again now. I don't hold any hope right now, folks, that this democracy, if there is even any democracy left in this country, will survive Trump and MAGA. It's probably already gone. I realize that. And every day, every hour, every minute that goes by makes me fear that we will never get it back again, at least not in the near future. And unfortunately, that's how I'm going to end the podcast today. The Democrats capitulate to Donald Trump. Listen, folks, again, I'll say this on every podcast because it's important. I need your support. I am one of the voices of the opposition to this insanity, to this dictatorship. I need your help. So please hit the subscribe button. Tell others to watch the No Delusion Zone and hit the subscribe button. Go to buymeacoffee.com and buy me a coffee. And please go to the No Delusion Zone shop. You can find that easily on a link from my website, protectingtherepublic.com. It's on the brick wall behind me. And there you can find a lot of kind of nice, cool merchandise, kind of like this, the hoodie that I'm wearing, and many, many other things. Also some Trump toilet paper and some other items I think you might be interested in. Until then, and until the next podcast, you all take care, stay safe, and please stay sane.